All right, settle in, because today's deep dive is tackling two really monumental problems, ones that are often out of sight, out of mind: food waste and hunger.
Huge issues.
Huge. But here's where it gets truly interesting there. We're not just dissecting the problems, we're looking at how one incredibly innovative company is forging a scalable, real-world solution.
Yeah, practical one.
Exactly. And our map for this journey today comes from these illuminating excerpts from Good: Solving Hunger and Food Waste.
So our mission today really is to understand the genesis of this idea, how it evolved into a powerful, scalable business.
Right.
We're going to confront the shocking scope of food waste, and it is shocking. And then reveal how this unique blend of tech, deep empathy, and frankly, shrewd business sense is actually building a future where food waste can feed people in need.
It's not just a feel-good story then.
No, not at all. I mean, it touches on fundamental concepts like human dignity, economic efficiency, and the profound impact the just shifting your perspective can have on these massive systemic problems.
Okay, so where does it start? It all begins with Good's founder, Jasmine Crowe Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Her journey started not in some corporate boardroom, but with a really personal act of charity right here in Atlanta. She had this vision, and she executed it. A pop-up restaurant concept designed specifically for people experiencing homelessness.
And this is where you get that pivotal moment, the one that really crystallized her vision. Jasmine and her volunteers, they had the best intentions.
Of course.
They'd made 1,000 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah.
Simple, common act of kindness.
Classic go-to.
Right. But then a man came up to her and shared that he was severely allergic to nuts.
Oh, wow.
And that feedback, it just hit her. This profound, almost visceral realization about the, quote, dignity lost in the way we often try to help the unhoused.
Just an oversight, but a meaningful one?
Exactly. Overlooking basic things like dietary restrictions, religious convictions, allergies. So to fix this, to really restore that dignity, she went all out. She started renting tables, chairs, proper linens.
The whole experience.
Yeah, even printing menus. Crafting a true restaurant experience. It was about making people feel genuinely seen and valued, not just fed.
And that dedication, that focus on dignity, it actually led to a 15-second video of her pop-up going viral.
Ah.
And the funny thing was, the question people kept asking online was, who donated the food for this amazing setup?
Right, assuming it was some big corporate sponsor.
Exactly. But the surprising truth, no one. Jasmine was personally couponing, price matching at grocery stores.
Wow.
And then cooking every Friday and Saturday to feed between 300 and 500 people every single Sunday. It was all her.
That amount of personal effort? That's intense. And that intensity is precisely what drove her to Google food donations.
Makes sense. She needed help, resources.
But what she found wasn't a list of donors. Instead, she finds herself confronting this staggering, infuriating problem of food waste.
Ah, okay. So that's the switch.
Yeah. She devoured this 86-page report from the Harvard Food Law and Policy Clinic, reading it, early hours in the morning, and she felt, in her words, really upset.
I can imagine.
She's picturing the people she serves, those families,
Yep.
like the ones living in the former Metro Atlanta task force for the homeless building, which was unique, by the way, because it let families stay together. Picturing them lining up at 9 a.m. for a 3 p.m. feeding, all her effort juxtaposed with these mountains of perfectly good food just going to waste.
That disconnect must have been jarring.
It ignited this fierce determination in her. She thought, I have to solve this problem.
So Jasmine's initial drive, clearly coming from this deep personal place. But how did that raw passion get translated into what Gooder actually does now, scaling up from pop-ups to this dual-sided business model?
Right. So on the food waste side, Gooder isn't just about devoting food. They essentially become the logistics backbone for businesses.
Okay.
They ensure edible surplus food gets directly to those who need it. We're talking shelters, safe houses, domestic violence centers, churches.
A wide network.
And crucially, schools. Schools are actually their largest partners. They're feeding thousands of kids weekly through that. But it's not just the delivery. They provide all this data back to their clients.
The business side.
Exactly. How many pounds kept out of landfills, the positive impact on carbon emissions, their overall carbon footprint. It moves businesses beyond just, ticking a box to showing measurable impact.
Okay, that makes sense. And then there's the hunger side, which you said really expanded during the pandemic.
Yeah, it really took shape then. This part of the business zeroes in on creating sustainable long-term solutions for food insecurity.
Like what?
Well, a prime example, They build free grocery stores directly inside schools.
Inside schools?
Yep, and they now have 28 of those across the country. It's a pretty remarkable model.
That is remarkable.
And it goes further. They have vital grocery and meal delivery services, too.
Yeah.
During the height of the pandemic, for instance, Goodyear took on this massive task, delivering all the meals for Atlanta public schools, students who got free breakfast and lunch but were learning virtually.
Oh, right. When everyone was home.
Exactly. Making sure that food reached them reliably right at home, even when the school buildings were closed.
Incredible logistics there, too. But okay, to really appreciate Good's impact, we need to grasp the sheer scale of the problem they're tackling. These next stats, they're pretty sobering.
Yeah, they really are.
Get this. If food waste were its own country, it would be the third largest in the world.
Third largest. That's hard to even picture.
Right. And closer to home, in the U.S. alone, nearly 2% of our entire GDP is spent on food that is never eaten. That includes production, transportation, disposal, the whole chain.
2% of the entire U.S. economy. Just wasted food.
It really puts into perspective how ingrained this problem is, doesn't it?
It truly is mind-boggling when you quantify it like that. So the question becomes, why? Why is so much perfectly edible food still wasted?
Yeah, what's the block?
Well, part of it is undoubtedly that old guard mentality, that stubborn, we've always done it this way, we just throw it away. Right. But a significant and often unspoken hurdle is just corporate fear. Companies worry deeply, what if someone gets sick from our donated food and we get sued?
Liability. That makes sense.
It's a huge concern.
And this is where Good really steps up, right? They offer direct solutions to those fears.
Exactly. They basically take on the entire burden. They provide proper packaging, clear labeling.
Okay.
They have the receiving nonprofits sign hold harmless agreements. And critically, they carry millions of dollars in liability insurance.
Millions. Wow.
Yeah, they had to secure that from day one because the Atlanta airport was one of their very first major clients. Big client, big requirement.
Got it. So they cover the risk.
They cover the risk.
Yeah.
But even with all those robust safeguards, the reality is some companies are still scared.
Still.
Or the legal teams just won't allow it. Sometimes they choose to compost edible food instead, which, as Jasmine notes, is still better than a landfill. But it's not feeding people. And for food that genuinely isn't suitable for humans, Goodyear does make sure it avoids landfills, taking it to pig farms or anaerobic digesters.
So still diverting it.
Still diverting it.
Diverting.
But her frank assessment, which is quite telling, is that feeding the hungry is not a priority for a lot of people in this country. And that societal viewpoint, that's a significant part of the problem itself.
That's a tough reality. So, okay, despite that fear, how did Goodyear actually get these major corporations, often stuck in those old ways, to sign on?
Jasmine's approach was incredibly direct and, frankly, kind of brilliant.
Yeah.
She'd just dig through the big hotel and food groups' own publicly available sustainability reports online.
Using their own words against them, almost.
Pretty much. The Atlanta airport is the prime example. She analyzed their waste stream, used EPA calculations, which consistently show food is the #1 thing in landfills,
right,
and estimated that a staggering 27% of their waste was food.
27%.
Which translated to something like 25 million wasted meals.
Oh my gosh.
So she went directly to them, presented these facts, and highlighted this stark contrast. All this perfectly good wasted food right next to children living in poverty in nearby College Park.
That's powerful.
That direct, undeniable challenge. It led the airport to become one of Good's first large-scale clients. She essentially called them on their public commitments.
And this proactive, almost audacious approach, it extends to holding companies accountable for those public promises generally.
Oh, yeah. She told a story about a major hotel group that had boldly declared they'd reduce food waste by half by 2025.
Okay, ambitious.
Which she pointed out is like only 2 months away.
Yeah.
And Jasmine didn't mince words, directly challenging them on their apparent lack of tangible progress.
Wow, calling them out directly.
Yep. And this really connects to that broader issue we see, often called greenwashing.
Right, the talk but not the walk.
Exactly. Companies frequently live for the announcement. They'll drop millions on a Super Bowl ad touting sustainability, but then fail to follow through on actually delivering those promises. Goodyear provides a mechanism to bridge that gap.
Okay, so Goodyear has expanded significantly since then. You said 15 states, 26 markets for donations, plus the school stores.
Quite the footprint now.
That's a lot of dispersed food collection and delivery. But how do these companies track what seems like a really random output of surplus food? Doesn't that get complicated logistically?
See, this is the core insight that transforms their whole approach. They realized hunger is not a scarcity issue. We have enough food.
Right.
It's fundamentally a logistics problem. It's about how you efficiently connect the excess food that exists to the millions of people who need it.
Yeah.
People like seniors on fixed incomes that don't change when food costs go up.
The connection is the challenge.
The connection is the challenge. The food exists, the need exists.
And that's where Gooder's tech solution comes in, the app.
Precisely. A surprisingly user-friendly app. Companies can stay right in their existing point of sale, their POS system.
Okay, integrate.
Yeah, click on the Good app, and often their inventory is already pre-populated. They just click the items they have available, request a pickup. It makes it incredibly seamless on their end.
That sounds much easier than trying to manage it manually.
Oh, absolutely. And the app's functionality is really robust. It solves several key pain points for businesses.
Like what?
It calculates the estimated weight of items, pulling data directly from major food suppliers like U.S. Foods and Cisco.
So it's accurate data.
Right. And crucially for the clients, it also calculates the tax value of the items at the time of donation.
Oh, that's huge.
It's a huge deal because it turns what was the disposal cost into a significant tax advantage and a CSR benefit.
Right, ROI.
Exactly. Then, once the food is received by the nonprofit, they sign for it just like a UPS package, and boom, a donation letter with a picture is automatically sent to the customer's portal.
Instant documentation.
Detailed, verifiable record for tax deductions.
Yeah.
Plus, they can track their CSR impact, carbon saved. Imagine an IHG board member seeing good highlighted right there on their board report. That's real, measurable impact.
That traceability is key. And what's really smart is how Good taps into the shared economy model for drivers, right?
Instead of building their own massive fleet of trucks and hiring drivers.
Which is expensive and complex.
Totally. They partner with independent drivers, kind of like rideshare services. This lets them scale rapidly, keeps overhead down.
Flexible.
And crucially, it gives drivers flexibility to earn while doing something genuinely impactful. Drivers love it, apparently. They get paid to do good, to feed people. It's a real win-win.
Okay, so putting it all together. Good Act isn't structured like a traditional nonprofit. It's a B Corp.
Right. Certified B Corporation.
For those maybe not familiar, that signals a commitment to social and environmental goals alongside profit. But given Jasmine's origins in charity, why go for-profit B Corp instead of nonprofit?
Yeah, it's a great question. Her rationale was actually quite pragmatic. She believed going the traditional nonprofit route would be a much harder old guard to get through.
Yeah.
Meaning constantly competing with established food banks, canned food drives. She felt she'd spend too much energy just trying to gain respect and a foothold in that existing space, rather than actually solving the core problem her way.
Interesting. So avoiding the existing structures.
Somewhat, yeah. But the biggest realization for her, perhaps the most profound one, was this. Companies were already paying to get rid of this food.
Right. You said the waste industry is huge.
It's $1 trillion industry. So Gooder wasn't introducing a new cost to businesses. They were offering a better cycle for an existing unavoidable expense.
Reframing the cost.
Precisely. While a traditional waste company just handles disposal, Gooder helps their clients turn that existing cost waste disposal into a genuine investment. An investment in their community, their environmental impact, their brand reputation. So while Gooder might be, a little more expensive dollar for dollar than just hauling it to the dump, the return on investment, the ROI for their clients is significantly higher than anything they'd get from a traditional waste company.
Makes total sense.
It's that elusive triple bottom line, truly in action. They are undeniably for people, for the planet, and for profit. Not as separate goals, but as integrated outcomes of their unique business model.
Good's story, it really shows how innovative thinking, blending that powerful social mission with a smart, sustainable business model, can actually transform a problem as daunting as food waste and hunger into something scalable, something deeply impactful.
Yeah.
It's about restoring dignity, driving efficiency, and crucially, holding everyone accountable for their impact.
That's a powerful challenge, isn't it? It really makes you wonder, what else are we overlooking as waste in our own systems just because we haven't shifted our perspective yet? I mean, if a company can transform actual garbage, essentially, into a triple bottom line opportunity, what untapped resources or overlooked problems exist in your own life, your community, your industry that could be similarly transformed with just a shift in perspective.
Absolutely something to reflect on. That was our deep dive into good check, solving hunger and food waste. We definitely encourage you to think about how you might apply that kind of innovative thinking yourself.